Hi everyone, this is Ronnie from YouTube, and I was speaking to a friend yesterday about the all the ex-vegans and all the YouTubers that are going away from a vegan diet, and some of them were raw at one point and doing fasting. And my friend just came back from a fast in January, I think, December. He's been raw, I don't know, 7 years or something like that. Never made a YouTube video as far as, as far as I'm aware, and isn't trying to make a career or anything in the vegan community or whatever else. Uh, just doing a raw vegan diet because that's what works for him, right? And he enjoys it. And I said to him, "What do you think about all these ex vegans and stuff?" And his reply is probably the reply that most people should give, which is he just said, "I don't really care. Like I'm just not really interested." And I think that's been like a missing response that should be the real response from most people, is that it's not, it shouldn't really interest you. It shouldn't really distract you from what you're doing with your diet and with your lifestyle. It shouldn't distract you in any way. It shouldn't take any I don't know, power away from you, whatever you want to call it. And I do think that it's unusual to me to see so many people get so angry about this stuff, and looking at comments below people's videos, and everyone's getting attacked, and well, a lot of people are attacking them and being ultra aggressive and things like that. And I I think that, I mean, to be fair, I've I sometimes act like a bit of an ass with people that say, like, on raw vegan forums, and someone says, "Yeah, I tried this diet. It doesn't really work for me. Whenever I eat fruit, this happens. I put on weight, and I do this, and I feel dizzy, and whatever, right?" And it's annoying to me because I know that that person's basically lying. I know a lot of people are lying about their attempts to do a raw diet and whether they actually did it or not, or whatever. And there was a lady that put up a post recently, and she said, "I was raw for a year, I was 80-10-10 for 2 months, and I've realised the 80-10-10 diet doesn't work for everyone." And I made a reply where I basically said, that's not really long enough to even to work out how to do the 80-10-10 diet, and it's very likely that you weren't actually doing what you thought was the 80-10-10 diet, and your opinion isn't really valid, because she was basically saying we've got to realise that it's not for everyone. And I was just saying your opinion isn't really valid because you've not really been you didn't we don't know what you did, we don't know how long you did it. Um, and when I put that post up, I kind of thought that's a bit unfair, really. Shouldn't really do that. But she then edited her post and changed it to that she'd been doing 80-10-10 for 6 months, right? So, and she'd been raw for 2 years, which I thought was kind of funny that she just all of a sudden edited the whole thing. But so I guess I can get triggered by stuff like that as well. But when it came to the a lot of the ex-vegans, a lot of it I just don't take on board that much. I don't really think about it being that interesting to me, or whatever you want to call it, interesting, or I don't take it to heart. And people make these videos, and it's really butt hurt. You know that phrase, butt hurt, like these butt hurt vegans who are like attacking all the ex vegans and saying, "Oh, they're all stupid, they're all this and that." And yeah, I don't really like the idea that people are moving away from a vegan diet, but I I basically believe that they're going to be coming back to a vegan diet, and I basically believe people have forgotten how bad they felt on their previous diet, and that's what happens. I don't really think people moved away from the vegan diet for health issues all that much. I think that's maybe a little part of it. I think they got around other people who were influencing them to try eating these foods that they grew up on, that their mum and dad gave them, that they have a lot of emotional experiences and memories and connections with, that are prepared so that they do taste good. They don't taste good naturally, but they actually have no flavour. Things like eggs, meat doesn't really have any flavour to the human palate. But when you add salt and sugar and all these things to the equation, and vinegar and acid tastes, and add some maybe some fat, into some more fat, some oil to it, and some spices and some things, then it becomes something that people enjoy the flavour of, or enjoy the flavour that is on it. I remember when I was eating meat back in the day that if it was marinated or whatever, you liked the surface, but the rest of it, like there wasn't really any flavour to. And that's something that, I mean, some people who follow my videos are doing the carnivore diet, or other diets, and like, you have to wake up to the fact that your food, like, it doesn't have any flavour. Or meat eaters or low carbers, whatever, like, if you don't add salt to it and you don't add other things, and to some extent if you don't cook it so that it caramelizes the fats so that there's a little bit of a sweetness to it, which is ironic because you're saying that you should stay away from sugars, but anyway, there's no flavour. So they've all been influenced because most people eat meat. They've got around people who they thought knew something or other. I don't think those people did. There seems to be a bunch of people in Hawaii who have been going back to eating meat for some reason. Vegans, and some were ex-raw vegans and stuff. And some other, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of it's like this kind of, hey, this is the traditional culture, this is what the ancient cultures ate, and they respected the meat, and it was God, they were whatever, they prayed to the meat, and all this nonsense, because none of them, just like all human beings, are terrible hunters. So our ability to live on meat was not very good, and it would have been a terrible strategy for any tribe that tried a low carb diet. Would have been killed and died out. So there you go. Like, the people that are actually really sure of themselves as a vegan and as a raw vegan, probably most of them aren't even watching YouTube videos and aren't watching Rawvana or Elise or Tim or whoever. And I've not really watched them in a long time because I maybe see them on Instagram a little bit, but I don't see them as an inspiration to me in terms of my diet. In terms of fitness, maybe, like, more so, but not in terms of diet and nutrition or lifestyle, or like other healthy lifestyle choices. And I don't really like the fasting all that much. I think it's a personal choice, obviously, but I didn't like the urine drinking thing. I don't too much like young people fasting, maybe when it feels like it's more about weight loss than anything else, but they'll say it's maybe like a emotional, spiritual journey. So I'm kind of in agreement with my friend Matthew. Like, who cares? Like, it's not of interest to me. The vegan movement is growing. The raw vegan movement is growing. The amount of people out there that are still that are looking for this solution is massive. And what we need to focus on is going out there and sharing this message. And I don't really think that, for example, the Anonymous for the Voiceless and things, I'm not really sure if that's the best way of trying to spread veganism. I'm not sure if PETA is the best way. I think that the wave of veganism is being pushed by food companies, quite frankly, who are realizing that their sales are starting to get a lot of sales of vegan products. The word vegan is starting to become a positive thing in terms of nutritionally, in terms of diet, nutrition. It's seen as healthy. It's seen as a healthier choice. It's seen as a weight loss choice. That's what's starting to drive veganism. it's starting to drive the sale of vegan products, and as that gets out more and more and more, gradually people will look into it deeper. But um, I think that, yeah, I think that the anger and everything is a bit misplaced, and that people should focus their energy on going out and sharing the message of veganism, or raw foodism or whatever. And the ways that you can maybe start doing that, you could start your own YouTube channel if you like, or Instagram page, or what have you. You could do social media. You could just have a vegan party for your friends. You could just have a party for your friends and say, it's going to be a vegan. I just want to show you what vegan food can be like. The same thing you could do as a raw vegan thing. You could have a potluck. You could get involved in local groups. You could hand out flyers. There's a lot of things you can do. You could go to your workplace and maybe ask if you can do a presentation on it. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you can go out and share this message if you like. But I don't think getting angry at people that you think, they're meant to be the ones that are going out and talking about this and not me. So I don't know. I don't feel a lot about seeing these people. I guess I was kind of a little bit surprised, but I wasn't. I feel like I'm not really surprised almost if anyone comes out as a non-vegan, unless if it was someone like 20, 30 years as a vegan, I'd be really surprised if they if they came out of the closet or whatever as an ex-vegan. But yeah. So that's my video on that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know if there's any other topics you want me to cover, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to hear more. Thank you for watching.